seed in veg in the paper cup and then transplant to the 8-inch Cocotech pots and flower in that. Now, recently, over the course of the last year, those have been increasing in price, and it's like $3 per Cocotech basket, and that can get quite expensive, especially when you use it once and then you're throwing it away. So I've also used, and I've dug out, and I'm doing it now, I use the 8-inch net pots, and those are plastic pots. And typically what I'll do with the 8-inch net pots is I'll put a layer of hydrogen at the bottom of the pot for about an inch or two, and that's what covers up all the holes in the net pot, because a net pot isn't a typical pot, where it has just a couple drain holes. Basically, the entire bottom, 1 inch of the pot is all mesh, so you get lots of good water up and down. But the problem is cocoa can fall out into your tray. So when I do the 8-inch net pots, line the bottom with a layer of hydrogen, then put the cocoa in on top of that. That way the cocoa, when it gets wet, it kind of solidifies into a root mass, and the roots will come in and help solidify all that. But it prevents the cocoa from draining out. So 8-inch Cocotech baskets or 8-inch net pots, and that seems to be the best size. And the reason I go with the 8-inch size pots is because when we're doing, again, flood and drain with cocoa, because it's hydroponic, the roots will just grow out of the pot and right into the tray. And so the plants don't really get root bound all that much in flood and drain with cocoa because it's hydroponic, because you're flooding 4 times a day. Even when the root zone grows out into the tray, it's still getting water 4 times a day. It's still staying plenty wet, plenty hydrated, and it's getting plenty of oxygen. So they're just going to sit there in the tray and be happy. You don't have to worry about it.
All right, so let's flip over to nutrients. So cocoa is an inert medium, doesn't have any nutrients in it to begin, so you need to start feeding, right away. Mm-hmm. What type of nutrients do you use? When does your first feeding happen, and what does it consist of?
So I use the formula Canna, the full Canna Cocoa formula, which is Canna Cocoa A and B as the base nutrients, Cannazyme for our enzymes, Rhizotonic for the root zone, and then later in the flower, we'll add in the PK13, and then we'll add some of the boost as well when we get in the flower. And then the only supplement I add is Mammoth P for my microbes, and that's it. And I will use that recipe starting from seed. But now the trick is you can't just dump in full nutrients right away from seed. So Canna runs off of the electroconductivity system as opposed to parts per million. So I go off of the viewers that don't know, the conversion chart, typically 1.0 EC is 500 parts per million. And that's kind of the scale. And if you ever see someone refer to, oh, well, I'm 1,200 parts per million, you can usually divide that by 500 ppm, and that'll give you a rough idea of the EC scale. It is the most commonly used EC scale. I know there's a couple of them out there. So in the seedling stage, right from seed, I feed at 1 EC. And so that'll be Cocoa A, Cocoa B, my Cannazyme, my Rhizotonic, and the Mammoth P. And I'll put it in very light dosage. I have the whole recipe laid out in my Seed to Harvest video. And that starts from seed. And even from seed, I'm watering 4 times a day. So the tray gets flooded 4 times a day, 3 times with the lights on, and once in the middle of the dark cycle. And again, because it's cocoa, you can't really overwater it. So I have never had any issues with flooding so much, keeping it moist, because again, with flood and drain, that water's always oxygenated, so the root zone's always getting oxygenated water. It thinks it's in a DWC system. So that's my setup. That moves over all the way through veg. They'll keep 1.0 EC all the way through veg when I get ready to flip the flower, and that's when I'll bump it up to a 1.3 EC. And so just basically add a little more Cocoa A and B, a little more Cannazyme, a little more Rhizotonic, boost everything up a little bit to 1.3 EC. Mammoth, I keep the same kind of all throughout. That kind of feeding doesn't change because it's just microbes. We're just inoculating the cocoa with microbes every week when we do a new reservoir. And then we'll add in the boost. And the boost is our carbohydrates. So the boost is all of our sweeteners, the carbohydrates to feed the microbes that are there. The Mammoth P helps everything, boogie inside the rhizosphere. And then during weeks 3 to 5 is when we add in the PK 13-14. So we're going to add a little more potassium, a little more phosphorus, help the plant get into that budding stage. But again, a trick with Canna, when you add in the PK 13, it can really not only up your EC, but really up your pH as well. So you have to keep an eye on that. So typically what I like to tell people, the 2 to 3 weeks that I'm adding in PK 13-14, which is usually like weeks 3 to 5 of flower. Typically it'll be weeks 4 and 5 of flower. Like I have a shorter flowering strain. I know it's going to be an 8-week strain, so then I'll usually do weeks 4, weeks 5. If it's going to be a longer strain, I know this is going to be a 10-week strain, or like if I'm growing the Maui Wow, okay, it's going to be a 12-week strain, I'll do it for 3 weeks. So I'll do weeks 3, 4, 5, just to get that budding cycle going.
This motherfucker froze.
But when you have that PK 13, you got to pull back on the A and B. Because what happens is you'll shoot way over your 1.3, you'll get like 1.6, 1.7 EC, and then your pH be upwards around like 6.5, which I should also note we haven't really touched on pH. When growing cocoa, you really want to keep your nutrients around 5.8 pH because the way cocoa interacts with the root zone, we talked about that. Because of the way that all functions, you want to keep your pH around 5.8 as opposed to 6.5 that you're shooting for in soil. So this way you have different set of nutrients available to the plant. So in order to keep that around 5.8, I usually pull back my flowering newts, my AB, back to my veg formula. So I'm only adding 1.0 EC of my normal canna formula like I would for veg. By adding in the PK13, that's going to bump it up to 1.3. So I always warn people about that. Don't just dump it in. Make sure you're adjusting your A and B because you always got to keep an eye on how many EC or parts per million you're feeding your plants. And that's really the formula all the way through flower. And then when we get to the flush stage, which is really a term, I call it flush because a lot of people refer to it as flush. Again, I don't believe in flushing. I think it's a giant waste of water. We don't flush. In the system we do, we just cut off the nutrients to the plant. Because again, the cocoa doesn't have any nutrients in it. So just by simply stopping providing the A and B to the plant, it's going to immediately start to turn on itself and start to pull food from all of its family.
You wearing your red? Okay, we can wear our blue
into
then.
that self-consumption mode and to absorb and use up all the nutrients in the plant itself. And that's how you get those beautiful fall colors. That's the plant eating itself during flush. So what we'll do is, to keep things going in the rhizosphere, cut the A and B. But during the
Let's go, fellas. We need this one.
We're running our enzymes. So I'm running Canazyme. I'm running the Boost for the sweeteners. And I'm still running...
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, we wrap up Week 3 with a good Monday nighter here between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. They'll start the drive early. They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. Well, this defense for the Giants, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7?
Oh, yeah?
That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go to Elliott again. And he powers his way up past the 30.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Looking to throw. Prescott.
Dang.
For Hilton, it's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, more or less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now they're seeing a pretty good pattern.
Touchdown, Cowboys!
Say that, dude.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
He's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 42. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
What the fuck?
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. These two teams all tied after 1. First down, and it's Pollard again. Down right around the 25. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Pollard again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. That run going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs, just a little crease, and off he goes.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
After the sack on first down, Jones, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully cold.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. fielded at about the 28. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle. Here's Elliott. And a lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
Good dude.
That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Barkley is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Another try for Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. In motion left is a running back. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are an extra point away from drawing level. Gano the extra point, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time that led to a score. They've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Prescott now. Left side to Lamb. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy 1st. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. The tackle there by the safety, Xavier McKinney.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Prescott. And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the jump.
Hold up. All right, I'm ready, good. I'm ready.
That's where the Canna Boost comes into play. So it's a proprietary blend, so I don't
Let's
know
roll.
what's in it. But I know it's.
Take over here up near the 40. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Can I get the ball back?
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Throwing Jones.
Get over there.
Off target and incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Jones. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Got scared. Too many picks.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They just get the play off. Now Prescott. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
That's what's up.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. So, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Jones now throwing on first down. Out route here, complete to Shepard. And they'll get it down on the other side of midfield.
Don't give us that.
Here's second and a yard. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. 50 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
The Giants understandably want to bring Barkley back slowly from a torn ACL last season, especially after their star also picked up an early season ankle injury. In the end, the production was just under 600 yards for him in 2021. But the silver lining, it should be full speed ahead from the very first snap this season.
Here's Jones on first and 10. That's complete left side to Shepard. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it's second down. Up the middle with Barkley.
Good shit. You don't let him do you like that. Good run.
The way in. Touchdown, New York. Well, with Saquon Barkley, you often think of the elusiveness, the quickness, but he can definitely run with purpose as well, and he's able to shed a tackler there and continue on.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Extra point try, good ball, get away. And we are 21. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a deep ball. And now look at this.
No,
big
come
gain,
on,
but a
man.
fumble.
Come on, man.
The Giants
Get
have it.
the
It's
fuck
picked
out
up.
of here.
And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And now after coughing up the football, serious concerns on that sideline. Their defense surrenders the tying touchdown to start the third quarter. And now the offense follows that up by committing the turnover.
And I think you're sensing the exact same thing that I'm sensing. That
worked for him and his climate and his economic reality. And so, yeah.
We ready. We can't challenge it.
Let's minimize
Dirty
personal
bitches.
performance. But sometimes, there's going to be some, depending on what you're growing and the conditions.
We ready, man. Unless you know the glitch moves to stop the booth from challenging that shit.
There's nothing quite like a great science fiction.
much different here in the second half. We talk about it a lot, but you can feel it kind of rippling through the stadium, and it's affecting the players.
Dirty motherfuckers. All right, motherfuckers. You got to take this game.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
What's up, motherfucker? Damn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. A first down carry by Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball, then limit that gain.
It'll be a handoff to Pollard. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. It looks like he's going to be stopped short of the first down by about a yard. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of the first down.
On that one, Tony.
On the sneak, it's Prescott. And he is going to have the Cowboys first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Inside give to Allen. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They never went crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott.
Come God
for the
dang.
fourth time tonight, it's an interception. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Now Jones on 1st down. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. They will look for some important yardage on 3rd down. From here, it would be a 60-yard boot. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throw right side, taken in by Bellinger. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the 1st down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
A 1st down carry for Barkley.
Bring that bitch back.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Introduce yourself to the QB now.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones. The ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, caught by Bellinger. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts That'll leave him with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On 4th down, Jones. That's to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play.
Those big ends don't really care what the play call is. Big pass, RPO, handoff, whatever. Their job, get behind the line of scrimmage every play and run down whoever has the ball. Mission accomplished there.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones, he dumps it off to Barkley. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Jones will try and run with it. And he'll just protect the football and go down and take the sack. The sack will push him back only a couple yards, but certainly not what they were hoping for on 1st and goal. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Out to the right here to Shepard. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Here's Barkley. And he will take it all in for a giant touchdown.
Cover that outside.
Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Giants have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. Gano the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Prescott. Completes it to Hilton. Hook up of 15 yards there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Dak. Forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And the Giants have just about sewn up this football game. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Barkley on 1st down, going to work his way forward, only for about a couple there.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Barkley off tackle left. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for the Giants, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1.
And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington.
Sorry, fellas, sorry. We're gonna get their ass. squad.